Okay, today's exercise is to put the undercarriage back on so that I can level the fuselage up and get ready to draw the stripes down the side. Let's turn around and have a look. The fuselage, the primer on the fuselage, it's sort of a high build primer, the white stuff here, Eco Prime. I've sanded it so the whole fuselage is fairly smooth right now, and it's ready to mark the stripes on the side. Not quite ready to paint, although it's pretty much ready to paint as well once I've got them marked on. But in order to do that, I need to throw the undercarriage back on. At the moment, I've just got one undercarriage. I've got one undercarriage leg sitting on there with a couple of bolts in, and my intention is to try and install this one with a couple of bolts. Then I can take the crane over there, the engine crane. I can take that off the fuselage and give me some room to work and measure up where I'm going. But anyway, let's play on, see if I can't get this leg on. I'm just going to put a couple of bolts in. I'm not, they're the bolts, can't see them, fair enough. They're the correct ones. There's a pretty fair chance I'll drop them and they'll go inside the fuselage, which makes it much more difficult to get them back out. But I've got my trusty magnet here, so I can go magnet fishing. That seems to be a popular thing these days. But yeah, this was just leaning there. These came up all right with the, after they've been painted, they're pretty good. He goes this direction. Straight in. There we go. Okay, so that was a bit simpler than I expected, to be honest. But both bolts are in now. So it's just a matter of installing the telescoping part that takes the bungees. I'm probably not going to put the bungees on, apart from being too dangerous. I just don't think it's necessary. But anyway, I'll fetch them and see how we go. Oh, there they are. That's how they go. These bolts are 90 degrees to one another. There's a cable inside there that stops should the bungees break, it stops the leg from blasting off and leaving the wheel behind. That'd be sort of 9 grades of disastrous after that happened. Let's throw these on. I need my creepy crawly, wherever that is, right over here. I'll just show you this. Maybe I won't. Yes, I will. I'll pull it out all together. When this is the cable that latches onto it. You can have a bit more light. That it goes from here right down to the other end. You can maybe see the cable inside. Of course you can't. And yeah, if you have a catastrophic failure of the bungees, it just stops the leg from. Well, the leg would actually probably come up and belt the daylights out of the lower side of the wing. It wouldn't matter. It'd be horrible, whatever happened. So yeah, that's what we've got to. So when we put this in, we've got to thread that through as well, that cable end. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe that'll work. Let's see how we go. Okay, that one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there. Okay, piece of cake. This goes up about here somewhere. This hole at the back seems to be lined up fairly well. The one at the front isn't. It will. There it is. Yep, we didn't pick up the cable. Okay, let's have another go. That's got the cable, and there's the bolt in. That's pretty good. In the final fit up, the bolt will actually come in from the front. We'll see if we can put it in this way now. I doubt it. It'll be difficult. Now we've probably lost the cable again. No, we've captured the cable. Excellent. There's the bolt end. These bolts are so long because that's how the bungees are captured. Okay, there it is. This one goes 90 degrees to the other one. And this goes on here. I'll turn you around a little bit. It's the same deal down this end, except it's a 1/4 inch bolt we're talking about, not a 5/16. That one from this side as well. That's it through. We could put the nut on and pull it through, but I don't really care. I don't want it fitted properly. That's it. Yeah, the leg, the undercarriage leg has about that much room. You can hear the cable gorging away inside the telescoping tubes. But anyway, it's free. That's how it goes. I'll put the other leg on, and then I can put the undercarriage on the ground. That's all I'm trying to achieve. I may put the tie-down strap from one leg to the other to tie them together, but I don't think I need it. I want the fuselage at a particular height. See what that height looks like at the time. Okay, this one, same deal. The only reason we're doing this, remember, is to mark the fuselage where I want the stripes. That's all we're trying to achieve. All right. Just roll the fuselage over so I've got more space here. Yeah, that's the undercarriage on, as if the bungees were broken. The wheels will splay out much further than they are right now. Actually, I guess I could probably throw the wheels on. That might give me about the clearance I need. Yeah, why don't we do that? All right, I've decided to remake the patterns for the curves on the nose of the aeroplane. This is just a piece of brown paper that I'm going to cut into the curve that I actually want. All right, I'm ready to go. From a sort of series of trial and error, I've worked out that the radius I want for the curve on the upper side of the aeroplane was 23 inches. But on the lower side, which is the one I'm making now, is actually 21 inches. So I just got a piece of string, tied it to my pencils, 21 inches long, bring it around and around this way, and hopefully, whoopsie, hopefully that's the curve I need. I'll cut this out and I'll bring you back in a minute. We'll see how we go. Just a bit of a catch up on what you've seen on the last part of the video. I've been trying to mark the stripe on the side of the aeroplane. I started off using my water tube, which is just 4 or 5 metres of clear plastic tubing with water and a little bit of food colour so I can see it better. That worked reasonably well up to a point. It just really wasn't accurate enough because I couldn't, from one end of the aeroplane, I can't properly see the other end. With 2 people you could do it, no worries, but I had one, so it's a bit tricky. So I wound up, my neighbour is a tiler, and he wound up coming over and with a laser, and we picked an area at the front of the aeroplane that I wanted level. And an area at the back, levelled the aeroplane to those 2 points and marked off with a laser. And that worked out pretty good. I'm fairly happy with the outcome. Let's have a look. Here's the side of the aeroplane, which you may or may not be able to see. There are some leftover marks on here from the water line, but let's see if you can see this mark, which you probably can, with a line around it. They're the ones that were done with the laser, and they line up beautifully. They run along the side of the aeroplane and up and around the nose of the aeroplane. I'll try and show you what that looks like up here. There we go, up there. It's a curve here at the front, and then basically a straight tapering line down to the back of the aeroplane. It'll be fairly prominent in the paint scheme. That'll be an orange colour, and the rest of the aeroplane will be that colour. So it actually will stand out quite vividly, I think, against the lighter colour, and that's okay. That's what I want. Otherwise, the aeroplane would be too sort of ordinary. But this should liven it up a little bit. The VH numbers, the aircraft registration numbers, should probably go on the fin. I can put them on the fin. I can probably even put them here, in this area. I know the numbers, from memory, I think the numbers have to be 75 millimetres high, which is about 3 inches. So there's plenty of space there to put them. There's also plenty of space on the fin. I have to read the instructions exactly where you're allowed to put them, how big they've got to be, what font they've got to be, and all the rest. But it's pretty well laid out. But anyway, that's where we are. So the next step, and I'll try and do that now, is to mask this line that I've put. It'll be to try and mask that off and paint the orange on. And I want to do that with the aeroplane sitting on its wheels, which is where it is right now. Then I'll take the wheels back off, put it back on the rollover frame, and we'll probably paint the bottom of the aeroplane, and then maybe even put the wheels back on and paint the top. It's going to be done in stages. There's at least 3 different stages to the painting that I'm about to do. But anyway, I'll keep you informed as we go. Okay, it's time to start putting masking the tapes on the stripes on the side of the aeroplane. This is the stuff I'm using. It's a Scotch product, 3M Scotch product, and I must say it seems to be pretty easy to use. Let's go and have a look and see how we get on. I can probably make it look horrible, but let's see. Okay, as you can see, I've already put one of the tapes along. This one is going to go along here. This is a tapered a stripe on the side of the aeroplane. Let's see how we go. It tapers from about here up to probably about 14 or 16 inches wide up at the front. Let's see how we go. We'll put this about here. And we sort of pull it and try and steer it as we put it on. Might take a little bit to get it started, but after that it should go fairly freely once we get it going. Without wobbling around all over the place. If you actually know what you're doing with this stuff, you're probably asking, what the hell is he doing? Of course I don't. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, so I'm working it out as I go. I drew a line on here, remember, earlier in the video, with the help of my neighbour, who brought his laser over. I'm probably making a mess of it now. But that's going. Righto, let's carry on from there. And I've got to do the curve that runs under the nose of the aeroplane. Let's see how that goes. I've got my creeper ready here, so I can roll around on the floor without hopefully getting too dirty. Let's see how that goes right there. It seems to be going more or less. I'll come back and flatten it all down later before I put the rest of the masking in place. Is that going to stay? Hopefully. I'll mount the creeper. That's not too bad. This will all be orange, and this will all be cream, the same colour as the gear leg, if you could see it. The more astute amongst us will pick that this is probably not quite the right colour. Yeah, I made a mistake. If I only made the one mistake, it'd be pretty good. But, yeah. Obviously, I'm an amateur, so there's no shortage of mistakes. Look at that, beautiful. I'm actually liking this tape. I think it's working out pretty good. It's pretty simple colour scheme. There's nothing too difficult about it, thankfully. Otherwise I'd have no hope. And off we go up the other side. I need to turn over here somewhere. Wonder if I can put that up there. Knew that brake light would come in handy one day.
That's the brake line I was talking about. It'll come in handy to hold it tight. Just pull it out. A bit wonky there. How does that look? Oh, doesn't look too bad. I'm sort of steering with my right hand here, using my left hand to sort of pat it down. Seems pretty good. Oh, yeah. I'll take the trolley. That might make life a bit easier.
All right, we'll go for a run down this side. So the orange part will start off as at a point right at the fin, at the back of the fin, and off it goes, getting bigger and bigger. I'll try and line you up so you can see if it's straight or not. I think it's reasonable. There might be some distortion in the camera. Yeah, that'd be it. Can't be me, it's got to be the distortion. And there we come, bigger and bigger. And we get up this end, and it'll go right the way around the nose. Yeah. Pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy. That's well, that's my first ever go at doing any masking like this. So now all we've got to do is cover the rest of the aeroplane up and mask it up and start to paint. Let's do that. I'll bring you back. Here it is, Friday afternoon. I think all the masking is complete. I'll go round it and check one more time before I start spraying anything anywhere near it. The masking job is probably one of the worst I've ever seen in my life, but that's okay. All it's got to do is keep the paint off the bits I don't want painted. So yeah, it's about as ready as it's ever going to be. But all it's going to do is, all I'm going to do first of all is paint the stripe down the side. Then I'll probably take the undercarriage back off and paint the bottom, but that'll be in a few days' time. You'll get that in maybe in next week's video or the week after. But that's it, let's get stuck into it. Well, after all that work to do the masking and everything, I finally managed to finish the paint. I think it's okay. It looks like it's got a lot of orange peel in it now. It's a weird. This is the Stewart Systems paint, and over time, like overnight, hopefully a lot of that orange peel will settle down. Now that works on a horizontal surface. I don't know how we're going to get on with a vertical surface. But I guess we'll see in the morning. It's still too wet to think about taking the tapes off. I've just got to guess, I suppose, at the best time to take the tapes off. I don't want it to dry completely, but I don't want to try and take them off while the paint's still wet either. And then I can't mask the orange and paint the upper section or the lower section for 4 days. You're not meant to you're meant to let it dry for 4 days before you go putting masking tape on it. So anyway, but I'm reasonably happy with what I've achieved. The next stage will be to take the undercarriage back off, mask the orange back off, and paint the bottom. And I need the crane to do that. I need to be able to roll the fuselage over so I can paint underneath. I'm not going to roll around on the floor painting upwards. That's definitely not going to happen. But anyway, that's it for the update. I guess I'll catch up with you next week. You'll have to wait till next week to see the tapes come off. But I think it'll look pretty well. I think it'll look pretty good anyway. I am a bit partial to the colour orange, but what the heck. That's it. You know the drill. Try and get your feet off the ground if you can. It might be a bit wet here tomorrow and Sunday, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but we'll see. Otherwise, enjoy whatever it is you do get up to, and hopefully it's aviation related. Okay, bye now.